Welcome back, teachers. It's been a little while since the reading vocabulary and YouTube generators, but I'm happy to say the grammar generator has finished its beta test, and I'm ready to show you how it works. You click on the lesson generator at the top, grammar generator, and if you remember from the previous generators, we were following this topic of how people can feel less lonely, a cure for loneliness, vocabulary cure for loneliness. So imagine, you're teaching this topic, and now you want to introduce some grammar to your lessons. We want to stick with this theme of loneliness. So we come to the grammar generator, and this is where we put our general topic. Do not write a grammar topic here. This should be a general topic. The grammar topic comes next. I think we're going to say cure for loneliness, because that is what all the other lessons were about, the cure for loneliness. So we have our general topic, cure for loneliness. Now we pick one of our grammar topics. There are 87 topics now that we're going live with. It's not done, so please continue to suggest new topics in the WhatsApp group or email info@eslflix.com. Lloyd reads them all, and we will continue to add more topics. But for now, we have 87 topics to go. So let's say cure for loneliness. I want to introduce maybe tenses. Maybe I want to introduce future perfect for this student or this lesson on the topic of cure for loneliness. And they're B1 to B2. I think we'd introduce it at a B2 level. But yeah, depends on the level of your student. Obviously, a little bit higher, a little bit lower. It's okay. And we click generate grammar lesson. And we've added it to the queue. So as always, you can either check your email in two or 3 minutes, or go to my exercises at the top here. And you can see we got the 3 lessons we generated before, the reading, YouTube, and vocabulary ones. This was during the beta test, and it failed. We fixed all of these bugs, so you shouldn't see exercise generation failed. But we do have this one just now. I'll just refresh. It's processing. We'll give it a minute and then see how it goes. It's still going. The grammar generator is the most complicated of all the generators, so it does take maybe a minute longer than the other ones. So you might have to wait just a little bit longer for this one to process. And here it is. Future perfect, a cure for loneliness. Let's take a look. So we can click on it and open the exercise. And here we are. So we have a warm-up. Then we have a text on the general topic, a cure for loneliness. So firstly, it's a short text. It's not to be compared with the reading generator, which is a longer text with paragraphs and headings and questions. It's a short text on the general topic, and it has grammar highlights. When you turn them on, you can then look at what it is. So volunteers is the subject, will, future auxiliary will, perfect auxiliary have, opened is the third form, V3 main verb. So volunteers will have opened. So you can go and I'll do some, grammar analysis here with your students. So then we look at the form. And this is based on guided discovery. So this is the positive form. If your student is completely new, you want to guide them to the examples. So we've got the subject, and they can see the subject, then will, we're going to choose will, have, and then the third verb form. So yeah, use guided discovery. Get your students, if they're not sure about the form, get them to check the examples. And when they check, make sure you show them each part of the example. So the negative form, I'll do it quickly, will not, and the question form. And a little tip pops up as well. So once you fill in the form, there's always a little tip that appears below that you can show your student. So after form, we have the meaning, and we follow teaching tenses with timelines. Timelines are a great way to visualize tenses. So by next spring, volunteers will have opened 3 neighborhood clubs. So the action will be completed before the deadline. So this is the future deadline by next spring. And this is the action opened. Because it's red, you can see the action is red, the X is red, so it's connected, it's color coded. And then you have more examples. I won't go through all of them, but there's also some concept checking questions. There's different meanings with different graphs to show you, but you can go through those with your students. Then you have some practice questions. The action, which sentence means the action will be finished before a future deadline. So now they've got to choose the correct sentence that fits the meaning. So they will have known the guests. No, that's about a length of time. That's not about an action. The volunteers will have collected, will have prepared. The action, a single one, so it's this one. Yeah, it's not about 500 actions, it's one action. The sentence focuses on a completed action before a future point. Yes. Then you have the form. It starts with multiple choice, and then it has a gap fill. And I'll show you one of each. So by next winter, the project will have launched. You press check, and it all turns green. By the end of the year, the helpline, so that the target verb is in brackets at the end here, will have answered, and it turns green. I think I'm going to expand that box so it's more visible and you can see everything. So that's practicing the form. And then there's a transform task. This isn't in every grammar exercise. Only specific grammar exercises have this. So you have to rewrite a full sentence. By next spring, volunteers will have opened 3 neighborhood clubs. Change the sentence to negative. So the focus here is about the form once again. I'm just going to copy and paste to save time. Will not have. And now that's a negative. Then it gives you the little tip, add not. And then finally, some discussion questions. One thing I did want to show you is we didn't add any images. So when we go back to ESLFlix, you can edit the exercise by clicking this button. And just like the other ones, firstly, we want to get the banner image. So cure for loneliness. Let's see what Pexels and Unsplash have for us. I'm just going to pick some random images here. So we can add the banner image. We can add a warm-up questions image. And we can add an image over the text as well, if we want to make the text look better. And the discussion, we can add an image here. So I highly recommend you add images. It really does change the exercise. It's fantastic. It always looks better with images. So the warm-up, the text, and the discussion, and the banner, that's the one that you will see. Well, I'll show you now. We're going to send this to a student. So if you remember from the last classes, we already sent the vocabulary, YouTube, and reading exercises here, reading, YouTube, vocabulary. Now we're going to send the grammar exercise to your student. I only have one. This is my test student, but I will send it. And on the app, on the phone, you can press refresh, and you see the grammar exercise there with that image. I'm not going to go through it. That's maybe another video showing you that. So now we have 4 lessons: reading, YouTube, vocabulary, grammar, generated with links, ready to teach. And we have all 4 sent to the student for them to do in their own time by themselves on the mobile app. And really, that's a complete unit, you could say. If you were building a curriculum and building a course, you could say you've built like a small unit here. 4 lessons, plus you could combine it with maybe a lesson, a PowerPoint lesson in the lesson library. And yeah, you have everything you need there to teach.